Chatham's gardens. The gardens were not always here. For much of Chatham's history, they are on the riverside of the house. But in the 1920s, Chatham was acquired by a very wealthy couple named DeVore, and they decided to transform Chatham in many ways. The most dramatic change was the creation of this colonial revival garden. Now to do that, they hired one of perhaps the most prominent female landscape architect in America, a woman named Biddle Shipman, who got a late start in her career. She'd been married, her husband had left her, and so she really didn't become prominent until her 30s and 40s, late 30s and 40s. But she came here, and this would be one of dozens and dozens and dozens of gardens that she would design, but is one of the most intact of all of those that she did design. She transformed what was the entry plaza, if you will, for Chatham prior to 1920 into what she viewed as an extra room of the house. She created the brick walls around the garden. She created hedges that confined people's movement. That really the only way you were intended to enter the garden was through the house itself and to walk out what is today the east side entrance to Chatham. The garden was much more complex in Biddle Shipman's hands than it is today. It had to have been. She had 6 gardeners with whom to work. The DeVores were wealthy and could afford that kind of workforce. Today, of course, we can hardly do that. So the garden today only approximates what was here in Shipman's time. But she had a riot of color, matched backdrops, all sorts of perennials and annuals mixed in together, a very complicated place that became famous in Virginia. In fact, shortly after Shipman's work was done, the Garden Club of Virginia found the place, and it's been a regular stop for the Garden Club of Virginia for many, many, many years, and continues to be even to this day. There's a contrast here, though. Somewhere in the back of this garden, or what is a garden today, was a cemetery. The dead from the Battle of Fredericksburg buried here, as many as 133 of them at one time. Today, you would, walking this place where people love to come and take pictures, and where brides and grooms have their pictures taken constantly, you would never know that this was such a place of destruction at one time long ago.